And sweet family, the next thing that we are going to be making, we are going to be making our brown down, or what you would call stew. We used to call it like oxtail stew. Like if my grandmother made lamb stew, mutton stew, anything like that. But today we are making some oxtail stew. And oxtails is something that I only buy once or twice a year because they're very expensive. And you have, in order to get the quantity that you want, you will have to pay sometimes almost $40 for just 2 packs. So I said, I am not going to cook these and not bring my family in the kitchen with me. So today, along with our green peas and rice that is on the old-fashioned green peas and rice, we are going to be making some oxtail with that green peas and rice. So sit back and enjoy these recipes. And if you enjoy them, you just let me know by sending a comments or liking the channel, because this channel is Sweet Annie's Kitchen. My name is Annie, and I'm going to be sharing a lot more old-fashioned recipes with you from back home. And my home is in Barbados, so I'm going to be sharing some recipes going forward. I would have shared them on Sweet Annie's Life like years ago, but now that I have Sweet Annie's Kitchen, I am revisiting a lot of those recipes. So sit back and enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like my old-fashioned recipes. So let's just start to cut up our stuff. So we are going to set certain things aside, and we are going to cut up our stuff while our peas are boiling for our rice. We are going to set these things aside and then just cut up the rest of the stuff and put them in this bowl so that when our stew is saying, oh, something I forgot to tell you is these are my oxtails, and I just have them soaking in some salt water, and we're going to season them. We're going to season them shortly. Let's just cut up our stuff, and I'm going to cut this stuff up, and I'm going to do it off camera, and then I will be right back because we are going to be doing our old-fashioned oxtails. And there's no way I would not have brought y'all in the kitchen with me. No way. So we're just going to rest everything there. When I finish cutting them up, I'll be right back. We are coming to the end of cutting up our final thing. And I'm just using the flowers. I'm not going to use like these hard stems. By the way, you see these roots here? You can push these in the, like if you have some dirt or whatever, you could push these in the ground and they would grow and you would have your green onions. I normally just put mine in like a pot, a plant pot. So I finished, cut up my stuff. Don't they look pretty? I just love to see green stuff. I don't matter how much of my thing. Then I'm just gonna put my sprigs of thyme in. These are rinsed already, but I'm just gonna put my sprigs of thyme in just whole, because what happens is that the stem is so hard, you can just take out the stems after. And this is our thing cut up for our oxtails. So what is gonna happen while our oxtails is cooking? So will our other things be doing. Now this, I have this also for my oxtails. So I'm just gonna get my other kind of cutting board for that. My metal cutting board, because I have like a few cutting boards. And then we're just gonna cut our We're just gonna cut our potatoes and our carrots in cubes because this is gonna go into our stale stew. All right. So we cutting that into, and I like mine cut into small cubes because I don't like big chunks of potato in my mouth. Because what is going to happen is the potato is going to think down, and it is, and this is only one single potato. I don't put a lot. It's going to thicken up the gravy, and that is, just so that you don't have to put any kind of cornstarch or water or anything like that in it, because that also thickens your gravy. And I have some stuff here that came out of my, where is it? No, this is some chicken stock. This is some chicken stock here. So I am going to, because I did like baked chicken and I just threw off the stock. So I'm going to put some of that chicken stock in my oxtails. These are going to be so good. These oxtails are going to be so good. All right. All right. So now we are going to season our oxtails. So this is Sweet Annie's green seasoning. I already did a video up there to show you how to make this green seasoning, but that's on Sweet Annie's Life. If you wanted to see how I make this green seasoning, you could just let me know. But this is Sweet Annie's green seasoning, and it is always a hit with people because people like to get it. And then this is also Sweet Annie's dry rub. I also did a video for that. I have some in this bottle that if you just want to use a little bit. This is Sweet Annie's barbecue seasoning rub. Or Creole rub, I would say. It's more of a Creole rub. So I am just gonna put some of this on my 2 tablespoons of this on my thing. And it just saves me from having to get a whole set of extra bottles. And I have on the gloves because they have bones and I don't want bones to stick me or anything. And then I have my molasses, but it was coming to the end. So I just put some water in it and I'm just going to put my molasses on this. And what you can do is when it comes like this, I like to keep these bottles because they come in handy. Then you could either stir up your things first, but because of the way how I'm doing it, I'm not going to stir up my things first. I'm just going to put all my stuff right in here. My sweet pepper, my celery, everything in here. Look how gorgeous this looks. Doesn't it look gorgeous? I just love to see my seasonings. And then what you can do is, if you have the time, soak this overnight, leave it, and let it soak overnight. It will make your oxtails way sweeter. But how we're going to do it is going to be perfectly fine. What I'm going to do is just sprinkle, because the things I have in there don't have much salt. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over it, not too much because I don't want it salty. Then another thing that I like to do, I have some spinach powder, and this is spinach that I dehydrated. I made my own powder. I have some spinach powder, or I have some kale powder. So I'll decide. Actually, I think I'm going to use the kale I'm just gonna use the kale, you know, here, because the kale is way better. All right, so our oxtails are all seasoned, and this is my pot that I love to do my stew in. So we have our pot on the stove, and this is 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, if I was using beef, I would put a little bit of oil, avocado oil or something in there first. But because I'm using the oxtail that is already a little oily, I'm not putting any extra oil. But I'm putting this sugar in there to burn up to make like a gravy. Because what it's going to do, not a gravy, is going to make gravy browning. So instead of using browning, because what this way does, and that's why I tell you, I'm doing things the old fashioned way, the way my grand did it. And what this way does is that it makes the meat a lot sweeter, but you have to catch it at the right time. Because if you let it get too dark, what is going to happen? It's going to taste like burnt sugar. It's going to taste burny. It's going to make your meat a little bitter. So we have to catch this at the right time. All right. See what's happening there? Well, it's still too light, so it's not brown enough. So we are going to give it a little bit longer. See the color of it there? I don't know if you can see with the steam, but what we are going to do, I'm not going to let it get darker. I'm just going to put my meat right in there now. All right, so I put my meat right in there. Then I don't waste this. I have some hot water on the stove. Not on the stove, I have the hot water that was boiling in my kettle. So, and trust me, this is the real old time way. So this is gonna be like so nice. It's gonna remind me of home when we used to kill our goats and our sheep and stuff like that, and made our lamb stew and mutton stew. They were so good. All right, so if you look at this, you see it has a brown color already. So what we are gonna do is let our stew stay there and cook. But let me bring you and show you fully. Look at that. See how nice and brown it is and beautiful it is. So we're gonna let that stew just stay and cook. All right, and stew down. Then we're gonna add our other thing. My that is looking my mouth is watering. That is looking so good. It's looking delicious. See how nice and brown it is without using gravy browning. Because what we did is we made our own gravy browning, but that gravy browning is a special gravy browning. It has everything tasting nice. So we're gonna add some of our chicken gelatin. Actually, let's add all because I'm gonna make some more. Our chicken gelatin to that and let everything just boil up. We're gonna add a little bit more water to it. And then when I come back to it, what we're gonna do is we are going to add our other stuff, okay? Stew is basically all done. So what I'm going to do It's very hot, but I am going to put it in that container right there, and I will be right back to taste it for you. It's weird. Okay, our stew is all done. I have a little bit in here. I have a piece of meat, but it's really hot, so I might not taste this. Unless I could. Yeah, no. I can't get that there. I got to bite it went all on my pants. But anyway, I'm just gonna taste the juice for you and see how it tastes, because this is the best part I like. I could eat this by itself just with some biscuits. Because, you know, our body needs this gelatin, and this tastes so good. It's not bitter. It's not anything. It just tastes really good. Let me see if I could taste a piece of this meat without burning off my mouth. The meat is perfectly cooked too. Everything is just good. Everything is just good. So the next thing I have for you is going to be a summer drink. Because in summer, we need some things to drink. So we're going to be doing, I know at first I started a series on my other channel, but for this channel, the series that we're going to be looking at is some summer drinks. So we're going to start one of them today. So if you enjoyed this recipe, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Annie once again, and this is Sweet Annie's Kitchen. And share this recipe with a friend. If you enjoyed all the content, just watch the content and share it with your friends so that you can do it yourself. But this is old-fashioned oxtail stew. So have an awesome, awesome, awesome rest of the day. And until I see you again next time, spread the love and let your light shine.